In South Africa, youth suicide is on a devastating rise. According to the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, a child dies by suicide almost every day. The pressures of poverty, violence, bullying, and untreated mental illness weigh heavily on young minds, while access to mental health care remains painfully limited. For many, help is either too far, too expensive, or simply not available at all.
Over the last year or two, we've seen an increase of reports. So more people are reporting suicide attempts, completed suicides. So at the call center, the youngest was 9 years old. Very difficult case. Again, these children go through so much. Rape, abuse, being part of an impoverished household. These all take a toll of them. They often do reach out for help, but because we see them as young and they don't go through something, that's where the problem comes in.
Now, we have seen a disturbing rise in both the number of people who are thinking about suicide. The term that people use for that is called suicide ideation, and also people who have completed suicide. And that is what people say when someone has actually taken their life. And we're seeing a rise post-COVID. That is definitely an issue. A lot of people lost their jobs. It exacerbated the socioeconomic factors that have always been there. But we're also seeing a lot of families that are under pressure, both socioeconomically and also family breakup. A lot of families where they don't have the support of the parents for the children. And one of the most protective factors for young people in terms of their mental health is actually what they experience at home.
We had suicide last year, whereby 4 learners committed suicide, but one of the learners was Ilona. Client yethu lana, then we were trying to help him, not knowing ukuthi tina seeing ukuthi seka right manje. We've even called the parent only to find out ukuthi there are still some issues abhekana nazo ekhaya, abhekana nazo esikolweni, until then suicide yaze yaba complete. As Isadek, we went as far as going to find the source, going to find ukuthi lento abantwana abacommita ngayo isuicide, abazilimaza ngayo bayithatha kuphi. We took a walk siyala eSwazini. It's like 5 minutes walk. Sa involve amaphoyisa. We went to eSwazini, sithole red poison, which is popular, but alpirini. So it was easy to find. Even a 5 rand, mabakudurela bazothi 10 rand. So it's easy to find. So abantwana bayayisebenzisa. It's either we mix with yogurt, we mix with kota, and then say chayil.
Also known as Aldicab, Halifirimi has been banned in South Africa. Despite this, it is still openly available in the streets and at spaza shops. According to Equal Education, there is only one social worker for every 30,000 learners in the public school system.
But the problem lies in the fact that there are no resources enough to hire. So in our dream world, every single public school in South Africa will have one social worker to one school. So that should there be anything that happens in that school, big or small, there's a social worker in place. But what we find is that the social workers come in through the department when there is already an incident that has taken place. Then there is a team that will send in psychosocial support.
There's a lot of GBV. There's a lot of poverty. Abantu abangasebenzi abaningi la. There are relationship issues as corner, and there is a lot of like substance use due to situation abantu challenges ababhekene nabo.
There is a problem with the public mental health system in that there is just not enough trained psychologists, psychiatrists, and even psychiatric nurses to be there. But in theory, one should be able to go to one's local clinic and say, that they would like to speak to someone. It does involve, hopefully, other community organizations, such as churches. And that's an area that I think is often overlooked in South Africa. If we could just encourage church leaders and elders and even ordinary members to get more informed about mental health, and that mental health can be helped. That would be another place where young people could turn to if they could be assured of getting hold of someone who could just be a listening ear and could speak into their lives.
Closing the gap between the mental health challenges young people face and their journey to accessing support starts with turning every space into a space of care. Schools, homes, clinics, and places of worship all have a role to play.